girls in disguise, wearing masks. Wine, who was adorned with glitter and feathers, and Yina, with a dramatic flowing veil, were on the dance floor, dancing like couples, swaying and twirling in their elaborate costumes, while everyone around them were giving them judging eyes, thinking they were romantically involved. And what's the point of having a best friend if no one believes you are actually dating? They both got the chance to attend this party as Mingyu was from a wealthy family, and this party was organized by his family. Giggling as she spins Yina around. Okay, Yina, remember the plan. We dance like pros, distract everyone, and snatch Mingyu for his surprise. Laughing. Got it. Just remember, if we look too obvious, he will know something is up. Oh, please, look at us. Who would suspect two dancing divas are plotting to kidnap their best friend to give him a birthday surprise? Dramatically spoke in a loud tone, making everyone around them to give them looks of suspicion. Why don't you announce it on a mic? Glares at Wine. Oopsies. As they continue to dance, exaggerating their steps, spinning in circles, and accidentally bumping into other couples. Vine's glittery mask kept slipping, nearly falling off with every twirl. Where everyone was finding her clumsy, one pair of eyes found her as a soldier finds hope in despair, as a mafia finds honor in crime. Such a love. Continues staring at her while sipping his drink. A dangerous and mysterious mafia boss, always in control and feared by many. But as fate would have it, his perfectly ordered world is about to be shaken up by someone who is about to bring something more than just chaos in his life. On the other hand, Wine and Yina's antics were drawing attention from the other guests, who started to enjoy their clumsy dance moves. Mingyu approached his two dumbheads, who happened to share a single brain cell. As he was about to grab their attention, Wine tried a dramatic dip, but instead ended up almost tripping over her gown, sending her mask flying away. Yina caught her while laughing, but she too lost her balance and in a split second both females were on the floor. Mingyu sighed and held their arms to make them stand, while behaving like a fed-up single mother of naughty twins. What are you both up to? Nothing, just dancing our way through a birthday. Ah! Fake scream. My foot. I think I sprained it. Stands perfectly fine while glaring at Wine. Whispered. Nice try, Yina. The only thing sprained is your acting skills. After the party. They decided to carry out the plan after the party as they were not ready to skip on all the delicious food. Wine and Yina stood in a dark alley, right beside the party venue. Mingyu's car was parked a short distance away, therefore he had to cross this alley to get to his car. They were cracking up at their little mischievous plan while waiting for him to leave the party. A tall guy with attractive physique exited the building, wearing a similar mask to Mingyu, whispering, There he is. Nah, he's too handsome to be Mingyu. In disbelief. Look at the mask. Plus Mingyu started gym recently. I bet on my life that he's Mingyu. Okay. Put her hand on her mouth as the guy walked beside them and continued going ahead. Remember, we grab him, blindfold him, and take him to my house. It will be epic. Giggled slightly in her place. Think again. Nervous. Are you sure that is him? Positive. Let's go. Thanks, POV. That girl was really something. Let's get to know her. But what if she has a boyfriend or is already married? Well, I wouldn't mind marrying a widow. I was going on my way thinking about that mysterious girl, when suddenly someone jumped on me from behind, catching me off guard. I was about to make them taste when that person covered my face with cloth, or to be more precise, a see-through pillow cover, through which I could clearly see her face. That same girl, who was now standing in front of me, holding my hand and giggling uncontrollably, whereas I was standing straight, looking at her through the see-through cloth, finding beauty in confusion. Like, what is this little devil spawn up to? Adorable. I let her drag me to her van, which was driven by her friend. I would advise you to reconsider your actions. Laughing. Oh, Mingyu, you always know how to stay in character. This is going to be the best birthday ever. To himself. Interesting. Very interesting. During the whole ride, these two continued to giggle for no apparent reason, while this cute girl was holding my hand, massaging it, maybe trying to comfort me. She's so cute, I wanna eat her. Finally, the car stopped and she dragged me out. I quietly followed her, and after a few minutes, she made me sit on a chair. I could see through the cloth that the place we were at was dark. She tied my hands with what feels like a ribbon. She pulled off that pillow cover from my head and turned on the lights while screaming, "Happy birthday!" Yina screamed like a normal human being, but Wine's scream started as high-pitched yelp, but then it evolved into a series of hiccups, sounding more like a squeaky toy than a terrified human. She stumbled backward, tripping over her own feet, and landed on her backside with a thud, taking Yina along. "Well, that was entertaining," he said, his voice dripping with amusement. Yina was in shock as she realized their mistake, while Wine remained sitting on the floor. She looked up at him and managed a weak laugh. "Yeah, glad you enjoyed the show. Next time I'll charge for tickets." Embarrassed. Panicking. "Oh my god, that is not Mingyu." "Yeah, he's more handsome," staring at him like a creep. Wang looked around the decorated living room, clearly enjoying the situation more than he should. The spark of excitement in his eyes despite being tied on the chair scared the poor girls to the core, as they understood that he wasn't normal. Freaking out. "Wine, we kidnapped someone else," jerked Wine by her shoulder to get her out of her dreamland. Her eyes and mouth progressively widened. "Who are you?" Smirking. "The man you just kidnapped? You might want to let me go before my associates find me." Sarcastically. "Great. Just great. We kidnapped the one who has associates. This is why I don't plan surprises." Amused. "This has been the most entertaining night I've had in a while. What's your next move, kidnapper?" "Let's cut the cake. Then you go to your family. They might be missing you." Pleaded him with eyes to let it slide. Vine paced back and forth in her living room, her hands trembling as she tried to make sense of the situation. The plan was simple: kidnap her best friend for a surprise birthday adventure. But somehow she ended up with a tall, dangerous-looking guy tied to her chair, smirking at her like this was the most fun he had in years. Look, stuttering in fear and trembling, while fiddling with her fingers. I'm looking. Past her, a dark stare with a smoke. Gurk, Mr. Whoever you are, it was a huge misunderstanding. We were supposed to kidnap our best friend. Can't you just, I don't know, untie yourself and leave? Please? Pretty please? On the verge of crying. He leaned back in the chair. The ribbons used to tie him on the chair hardly seemed to bother him. He eyed her up and down and spoke. And miss out on all this fun? Not a chance. Joined her hands in front of him and nudged Gina to do the same. Please, I'm begging you. Taehyung couldn't help but laugh upon witnessing his cute kidnapper begging him to leave. He was thanking his stars for this day as he enjoyed being alive after ages. Someone rang the doorbell and Yina ran towards the door. She opened it and Mingyu entered. Where were you guys? I was finding you at the party like crazy. And where the are your phones? He looked around, taking in all of the decorations before his gaze landed on Taehyung. Happy birthday, bro. Huh? Me? It's not my birthday today. Looked at Vine and Nina confused, who seems equally confused as him. Today is 1st June, your birthday. My birthday is on 1st July. And you call yourselves my best friends. Disappointed. Yina and Vine just looked down as kids finally ashamed of their. Sighed. Now who are you, dude? And why are you tied up on the chair with inappropriate ribbons? Gave him a judgmental look. Mumbled. Happy birthday. Shut up. Tang just stared at him, making Vine to walk towards Mingyu and cover him up with a cloth, as if he was a beautiful girl on the cover page of an magazine. What? What? Whispered yelled at Vine, who was covering him. He's undressing you with his eyes. Maybe he's into guys, who knows? Whispered yelled back at him. Mingyu slightly pushed Vine aside and walked towards Tang. These two probably messed with you. I apologize on their behalf, but please tell me who you are. Kim Taehyung. And these two words were enough for Mingyu to faint. After a few minutes, they all found themselves trying to negotiate on this matter, while Taehyung was still tied on the chair, eating cake by Vine's hand. Please, sir, leave us as my birthday gift. Puppy eyes. Isn't it next month? Mingyu shoved his elbow into her tummy slightly to make her stop. Ouch! Please. Looking at Taehyung with teary eyes. Okay, but Vine have to come with me. Gasped. How do you know my name? Stops feeding him. I have my own ways. They all got scared and he looked down to control his laugh, as his way was Yina, who herself addressed Vine by her name a few minutes ago. Why do you want her, Vine? Gulps. I want her to attend a party with me. His eyes twinkling with mischief. A party? With you? Why on earth would I do that? He shrugged his shoulders nonchalantly. Because I need a date. What type of date? Giving him a skeptical look. You pretend to be my girlfriend for the night. I need to sign some papers and having you with me will make things smoother. People trust a man with a pretty lady by his side. Winks at her. But you are a mafia. It's dangerous for a simple girl like me to be with you. I'll make sure you're safe the whole time. And I'll owe you one. Trust me. Having a guy like me owe you a favor isn't a bad thing. Sighed, feeling a mix of anxiety and curiosity. Fine, but no funny business. Got it? Chuckling. Funny business? You kidnapped me. I think we are well past that. Whispered to one. Are we really teaming up with the Mafia? Whispering back. Do we have a choice? She returned her gaze to the dangerously handsome man again and spoke to him once again. This is a strictly one-time deal, okay? Deal. His eyes locking onto hers. Tang stood up, making everyone wonder when he opened the ribbons. See you tomorrow. Smirking at her one last time, he exited the house, leaving 3 souls fearing the next day. She arrived at the venue with him, while wearing a sleek black dress that hugged her curves in all the right places, paired with simple yet elegant jewelry. Her beauty attracted many stares, until it felt like everyone got stared by the presence beside her. She felt a protective arm snake around her waist, pulling her in his warm embrace. It's not necessary, pointing towards their close proximity. This is more than necessary. You don't have any idea, love. Whispered in her ear. Throughout the evening, Tae didn't miss a chance to flirt with her. During introductions, he would wrap his arm around her waist, pulling her close. "This is Wine, my lovely fiancé," he would say, each time emphasizing the word lovely in a way that made Wine's cheeks flush. Wine found herself oddly comfortable in this situation. After a while, they made their way to the bar. Tae kept her close, his touch both protective and possessive. To the bartender, "2 glasses of your finest champagne." "No, banana milk, please." Bartender looked at Wine awkwardly and was about to tell her that they don't do this here when Taehyung spoke. "Then 2 banana milk it is," told the bartender seriously. And who can deny the Mafia king if they love their head on their shoulders intact? At one point, they found themselves on the dance floor. Taehyung spun her around and started swaying in rhythm, his hand resting lightly on her waist. "You are doing great, love," he murmured, his breath warm against her ear. "I'm just trying not to step on your feet." He leaned in closer, their faces just inches apart. "I wouldn't mind if you do. It would give me an excuse to hold you tighter." She sighed while he chuckled on his own flirt, as this side of him was new for him too. Wine went on terrace to have some quiet time, away from all the chaos of party and her emotions. She stood there gazing at the moon.